Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas has used the 2020 election campaign to finally take revenge on Joe Biden. The justice did so by issuing a strong condemnation of his Supreme Court confirmation hearings. According to Thomas, these hearings were used by Biden, who was then a senator, to "get rid of me" because Biden and his fellow Democrats considered Thomas the "wrong" African American for the job. ABC News reports. Thomas made the remarks in a soon-to-be-released documentary, Created Equal. Clarence Thomas, in his own words, "The film will be released in theaters next year. I felt as though in my life I had been looking at the wrong people as the people who would be problematic toward me," Justice Thomas said in the documentary. "We were told that, it's gonna be the bigot in the pickup truck, it's gonna be the Klansman, it's gonna be the rural sheriff. But it turned out that through all of that, ultimately the biggest impediment was the modern-day liberal. They were the ones who would discount all those things because they have one issue or because they have the power to caricature you." The film supposedly focuses on Joe Biden's role in the hearings, according to The Hill. He chaired the Senate Judiciary Committee at that moment and was, therefore, the one who could and did use Anita Hill's accusations to smear Justice Thomas. "Do I have like stupid written on the back of my shirt? I mean, come on. We know what this is all about," Thomas said in the documentary. "People should just tell the truth, this is the wrong black guy, he has to be destroyed, just say it. Then now we're at least honest with each other." He concludes that the idea was to get rid of me. When that didn't succeed, when Justice Thomas did join the Supreme Court, it was to undermine me, he said. Although Justice Thomas was supremely qualified for the position, then Senator Joe Biden went on to vote against him in the Senate Judiciary Committee, after which he went on to rail against him in a speech on the Senate floor, and he also voted against his confirmation to the Supreme Court. In other words, Biden was one of the most passionately anti-Thomas voices in the Senate at that time. Because of this, it's clear that Justice Thomas was also speaking about Biden, even though he doesn't actually reference him directly. With 3 recent polls showing increased support for President Trump among African Americans, these attacks by Justice Thomas on Biden couldn't come at a better time. Especially so because he also spoke about the racism liberals display towards African Americans who dare have conservative views. There's different sets of rules for different people. If you criticize a black person who's more liberal, you're a racist, he said. Whereas you can do whatever to me, or to now Ben Carson, and that's fine because you're not really black because you're not doing what we expect black people to do. Exactly right, and it's undoubtedly one of the reasons why the Blexit movement is gaining steam.